basically we have a story, and it's the story of a soldier who rescues his king in battle. And as a reward, the king says, I will grant you any prize within reason. And the soldier says, okay, here's what I want. I want you to give me 1 kernel of wheat on 1 square of the checkerboard. And then I want you to put 2 kernels of wheat on the next square, and 4 kernels of wheat on the next square, and so on until the checkerboard is filled with wheat. King thinks about it for a second and says, you got it. So now our question is, how many kernels of wheat did the guy actually end up getting? So this is a little bit different because we still have a geometric series. So what are the first few terms in our geometric series? 1 plus 2 plus 4 plus 8 plus dot dot dot. Now, the last term, that's what we don't know what that is. So that's why it's a little bit different, because we don't know what the last term is. But we do know the value of the last term. How many squares are on a checkerboard? 64. So now when we create our 3 pieces of information, instead of calculating the value of the last term, now we're actually using the last term itself. So it's actually a little bit easier once you figure out what the geometric series looks like. So my first term is 1. My common ratio is 2. And here we don't want, this is what we're trying to figure out. We want to find the value, well, actually we want the sum. But we don't care about the value of the last term, because now we know how many terms there are. There's 64. So now we can go straight to our sum formula. So S of 64 is equal to A times 1 minus 2 to the nth power, 2 to the 64th power, over 1 minus 2. Now, to tell you the truth, at this point, I'd go straight to the calculator and plug these values in. But if you do want to simplify it a little bit, we can. What I can do is I can distribute this 1. If I distribute 1, what happens? It goes away. So I get 1 minus 2 to the 64th, 2 to the 64 divided by negative 1. Yes, sir? Now if I want to get rid of this minus sign at the bottom, all I have to do is multiply everything by negative 1. We have a property in math that says, as long as you don't change the value, you can change the form. So what I can do is, I can flip the signs of everything in the problem. So I can go from negative 2 to the 64th power to positive 2 to the 64th power. I can go from positive 1 to negative 1, and then this negative 1 becomes a positive 1. So in effect, this is what I'm left with, 2 to the 64th power minus 1.
Wouldn't the ones cross out?
No, because this is a subtraction, so these two are together. If it was multiplication, the answer would be yes. If you're multiplying, you can cancel out. If you're adding and subtracting in the numerator or the denominator, you can't cancel them out.
What if you did negative 1 plus 264? Would that still?
That's what I have.
Yeah, but it's 264 first. I'm just wondering if you flipped it would be the same.
Yes.
Yeah, cool.
Okay, so now you go to your calculator, and actually, here it is, 2 to the 64th power minus 1. This is the number of kernels of wheat that the soldier ended up getting. So what we discovered is you can round this. A nice student figured this out for me, and she earned 3 extra points on the next quiz.
She gave a 5.
I'll let her know you think so.
Alright.
And basically, we turn a number into almost a scientific value, almost a scientific number. Here's your answer. It's 1.84. What? E is the calculated way of scientific notation. Exponent. but that's your answer. 1 point, the book, you look at the book gives you the answer of 1.845 times 10 to the 19th power. Yes, sir.
Remember that one homework question that none of us could figure out? Did you ever figure it out?
I didn't even look at it. I forgot.
Alright.
One of these days when I have nothing to do. Oh, wait, that'll be never. Over the summer. I'll do it over the summer.
It doesn't even.
I could. Yes, sir. No, that's 19. Alright, so that's basically it. That's all I have for you today. I'm going to give you a problem to work on yourselves or as a group and see if you can figure out the correct answer. Is there anybody not done copying? Does anybody have any questions about how to do this?